Hi, my name is Judy Peak, and I'm the owner here at Snap Fitness. We are actually in Snap Fitness today, and these videos are going to actually show you how to use each machine for a full body workout. So today we're going to start with the bicep curl, and this machine actually says arm curl. Anytime you're not sure about a machine, if you'll look up here, it will actually tell you what it's for. It'll show you the area, and it'll also show you how to work the machine. The main thing on these machines for Cybex is you want to look for the yellow knobs. While you're looking for those, that means that it will actually move. That piece of equipment will move and fit your body to be able to do this exercise properly. So on this, we can move the seat. You can just pull the knob out and move the seat up and down. And then the knobs over here are actually for the proper weight that you want to use. On every machine, you're also going to see this big yellow knob. And if you don't want to go up, these go up to every 20 pounds. If you don't want to go up that much, then you can use these for 5, 10, and 15-pound increments. So when you use this machine, when you sit here, you want to make sure that the seat is where your arms can actually fit at 90 degrees, where you're not too low or you're not too high. And then you're going to grab the weight, and actually there's two ways you can do this machine. You can put your hands in this position, which is one exercise, or you can turn them and do what's called a hammer curl. So all you want to do is just pull up on the weights. Now this particular weight right now is a little heavy for me, so I'm going to go ahead and change the weight. So when you pull up, you just want to pull it up, and you want to make sure that you're squeezing your actual bicep. This is what it's working. When you turn the hand grips this way, you're actually going to be working the biceps this kind of the same way, but hitting it in a little bit different direction. So that's actually this machine for the biceps. Now you can also use dumbbells for the same particular exercise. Wanted to show you that in case someone is on the machines. For every exercise that we do for the machines, we're actually going to show you what you can do with a set of dumbbells. So basically you're just going to make the same move, and your hands will be out front, and you're just going to pull them up and back down. All the way down, all the way up. And then all you're going to do is just change the hand grip to your hammer curl, and then you're going to bring them up and back down. And that's going to be for your bicep. Okay, now we're actually on our tricep. So again, we're looking for the yellow knobs here and here. So this particular seat is just like the bicep. You want to make sure that the seat is to where your arms are going to be at 90 degrees. This particular one should actually just support your back. You don't want to be too squished in there, but just make sure that your back is supported. When you look up here, this will say arm extension, and it will kind of show you how to do it. So then all you're going to do when you sit in the machine, again, you want to make sure that your back is supported. And then all you're going to do is pull this up, set your elbows there, and then grab it. Sometimes this can be a little bit confusing to people. Then all you're going to do is just push. Just push your arms down. Okay? And that's actually working your tricep. Your tricep is the area back here on your arm. And there's actually 3 muscles back there, and that's why it's called a tricep. So I'm going to show you how you can do this with dumbbells. Basically, what you're going to be able to do is just bend over and make sure that your back is flat. And you're going to put your elbows as high up as you can stabilize them, and then you're just going to push back and squeeze. If doing both of them at the same time is difficult, then all you can do is put one down and just do single tricep kickbacks. So that's what you can do with the dumbbells. Okay, now we're going to move on to the chest. And this is actually called a chest press, so that makes it really easy. Here are your yellow knobs with the seat, and you just want to make sure that when you sit down that your arms are dropping at least 90 degrees or lower. Okay? And then also on this particular bench, there is another yellow knob in the back, and it actually moves the seat forward and backward. So you just want to make sure that you're in a comfortable position in this particular seat. So when you sit down here are your knobs to actually move the weight around. You're going to put your hands on each side and lay your head back, and then all you're going to do is just push forward and come back down. This is actually working your chest area, the little area right here in your arms, and just makes for a really easy exercise. Now for the dumbbells, we're actually going to show you in the free weight area how those will work if you want to use dumbbells. Okay, this particular machine is for chest and your back area. So it serves two different purposes. You'll see it says fly rear delt, so I don't want that to scare you. Just want to let you know that just means that you're actually going to use this for two different things. So again, we're going to look for a yellow knob, and the yellow knob is up here. And this position that this machine is in right now is actually for your chest. Make sure that it's out in both ways. If this is too far for you to reach, you can actually bring this around a little bit closer. Actually controlling this machine. So then you're actually going to sit down at that point, and you want to grab the long ones in this position. So right now, as you can see, this is too far back for me. It's stretching my arms and it's a little uncomfortable. So I'm going to stand up and adjust this again. Just kind of to show you that so you'll know what to look for when you're adjusting. So this feels a little bit better. I can actually grab it without straining. And then all you're going to do is just bring this together. This is the fly portion of this machine when you're doing it this way. This is working your chest area, just in a different way than the other machine. So then, now we're going to show the delt, the actual back here. So what you want to do with this machine is you're going to make sure that it comes all the way to the back here, because these are the handles that you're going to use. And the difference with that is you're going to turn around and actually face the machine and put your hands right here. And you may find that you can't do the same amount of weight. You'll just have to test it out. Then on this machine, you just want to take and go back with your hands and squeeze. And you're actually going to be working your back with that. So that is your fly rear machine. Just remember, this actually has two different actions. Okay, this machine is actually for your back also. So the first thing, when you go up to the machine, we're going to look for the yellow knobs to see where we're going to actually be able to adjust something. So here is where your yellow knob is located. And this particular one, what you want to do is sit down, and this needs to adjust to make sure that it's on top of your leg, that you're not going to come out of this seat. So that's the purpose of this. So you can pull it out and adjust this however you need to do it. Then once you stand up, there are actually two hand grips located on this machine. It does not tell you that on your up here where it says for your pull down and giving you information, but you can actually use the hand grips this direction, which is what it tells you on here, or you can actually do it in this direction. I feel like when you use the hand grip here and pull down, you actually get a little bit closer in the middle of your back as to working out. So we're going to just use the hand grip like this, like it is up here today, and you're going to have to grab it first and then sit down, make sure that your legs are secure, and then all you're going to do is just keep your back up and just pull and squeeze in the middle of your chest. Okay, and then of course it's the same move with your grip in this direction. You're going to sit down, make sure your legs are secure, and then you're going to pull. And you'll feel that it's a little bit different when you use a different hand grip. So that is your pull down. Okay, now we're going to move on to your shoulders. And this is called an overhead press, and it's exactly what it says. You're going to press over your head. Again, we're going to look for the yellow knobs, This seat should at least put you, when you put your hands on here, you want to make sure that your elbows and your arm, this portion of your arm is at least 90 degrees or lower. So that's how you want to make sure that your seat is adjusted in the right position. Then this is the same thing. You can either put your hands longways, or you can put your hands here, and you're going to feel a difference. But you're not going to actually see that up there on the plate. So you can do it either way. Adjust your weight, and then all you're going to do is just take your hands and just push it upwards. And then you come all the way down and just push up and down. Now, the only difference here is you're going to push up just like you did with that. It's just you're going to feel it more in the frontal part of your shoulder, more in this area and not so much on the top. So it just gives you a little bit different feeling when you're actually doing this on the machine. Now, for the dumbbells, we have a set of dumbbells. And actually, it's very easy to mimic this machine. We're going to make sure that our hands and arms are at 90 degrees. And then all you're going to do is just press up and down. So if someone's on this machine, just go over, grab some dumbbells. You can get the same thing. Now, if you want to turn the hand grip, you can turn the hand grip. We call this a hammer curl position. So anytime I say that, you know that my grip is going to be straight up and down. And you're going to put your hands up here, and then all we're going to do is lift and back down. That is the same exact position in that other arm or hand grip that we did. So remember, 90 degrees this way, or you can turn and go up this way. And that's your overhead shoulder press. Okay, now we're going to move on to our leg portion. And this is called a seated leg curl. And there's several adjustments on this particular machine that you need to actually pay attention to. So the first one is going to be here for your legs. And you'll actually have to sit down to be able to make this adjustment, which I'll show you in a few minutes. Also, you have a knob here, and this is actually going to end up being on top of your legs to keep your legs stable. And then you have the third one right here, and this is for your back, and it's all just going to kind of work together to make sure that your legs are fitting on this particular machine properly. So I'm going to sit down and kind of show you. Now, I have the seat kind of far out because I have really short legs. And because when I put my legs up here, I want to make sure that my feet are just over this hump right here. If you need to move this, you can actually pull this out and make that a little bit longer. And when you make it longer, as you can see, that puts my feet in the wrong position for this machine. So you want to make sure that you bring it back. And as you can see, this fits me a little bit better at this point. So I just needed to make sure between this and the seat in the back that it fits me to where my feet fit there. Then this is actually going to come down over my legs to secure it. Then you can hold here, and then all you're going to do is just push. Okay? And you know, you'll feel it when you get on the machine while your feet need to be over there. And this is working your hamstring, which is the back area of your leg. So all you need to do is just push, and you'll be surprised at how much you feel that. Then obviously to get out of it, you want to push that back up and get out. Now I'm going to show you how you can mimic that same thing with dumbbells. So you're going to pick up a set of dumbbells, and we're going to do what's called a deadlift, a straight-legged deadlift. And I'm going to turn to the side because you're going to need to see it from the side. What you're going to do is put your feet just hip width distance apart, and you'll put your weights in front of you, and all you're going to do is go straight down your legs, and then keep your legs straight, and you bring it right back up. Make sure that you really use your legs to bring your body back up and not pull with your upper body. Now you can use dumbbells on this. Usually you want to go a lot heavier, obviously, than what I have in my hands, but just make sure that you just go down your legs and slowly back up. And that's actually for your hamstrings. Okay, this is a leg extension, and this is actually going to be for the quadricep portion of your leg, which is right here. So there's a lot of adjustments on this machine also, so just look for your yellow knobs. We'll talk about this one once we actually sit down, and that one. Here is the main adjustment back here, and it's moving the seat forward or backward. So the main thing is you want to make sure that this seat, when you sit down, actually makes your knees cross and your leg is at 90 degrees. Okay? And mine is, so I have this actually in the right position. Now, you can, if this bottom piece is too close to you and it doesn't feel comfortable, you can actually pull this and move this whole thing out just a little bit farther if it's uncomfortable. Then you're actually going to take this piece right here, and people sometimes get weird. They're like, how does that work? You're just going to actually pull this up and set your feet underneath there, and it's going to rest on top of your feet. Then you're going to hold on to the sides, and you're just going to lift. And this is actually going to be for your quadriceps. So once you actually sit down on the machine, it's pretty easy. It's just making sure that all the adjustments are right to make sure that you're getting the full benefit of this particular machine. Okay? So with your dumbbells, you're actually going to be able to do a squat with this. Now a squat actually includes your hamstrings and your whole leg, but it also gets the quadricep part in the front, just like this machine does. So I'm going to turn to the side to show you a squat. And basically you're going to hold your dumbbells, or if you don't even want any dumbbells, that's okay too. And when you do a squat, you want to put your feet hip distance apart. And when you squat, you want to act like you're going to sit down in a chair. And I always tell people, make sure that you're hinging from right here and you're sitting backwards. So when you go to squat down, you want to make sure your knees are not over your toes. And this is a squat. And then come back up and squeeze your quadriceps. So you can get the same kind of feel you can with this machine that you can with your dumbbells. Okay, this machine is for your inner and outer thigh. And let me show you a few adjustments. This adjustment right here is for the back of your seat. And a lot of people mostly keep it in this upright position, but I wanted you to know that you can actually lower this down in this position, and it's a completely, even though it's the same exercise, it feels completely different. But most people just put it in the upright position, which is what we're going to show you today. So we're going to leave it in this position. Now the other adjustment is right down here, and I'm going to sit down and be able to show you how that adjustment works. So once you sit here, you'll know that it's for your inner thigh when the pads are actually facing your inner thighs. Now I know it looks kind of weird at this point, but you're going to take your adjustment and you're actually going to come out with it and lock it into place. Make sure you hear that lock, and it is locked into place. Then all you're going to do is lean back on the seat. You can hold on if you want to, and you're just going to squeeze your inner thighs together. Now you can make this go out farther if you're a little bit more flexible, or not as flexible. You can put it to wherever it adjusts for you. Now to do your outer thighs, you have to put this back in the regular position, and you're actually just going to take and rotate these pads. Okay? Now, you're going to put your legs inside, and the pads are actually facing your outer thigh. That's how you know you're in the right position. So inner thighs, the pads face your inner thigh. Outer thigh, they're facing your outer thigh. And then you just leave, you don't actually move this. You're going to leave it right here. Then you, again, put your back on the pad, and then all you're going to do is just rotate your legs outward, and this is going to be working your outer thigh. Now, in order to actually do that with dumbbells, we can work our inner thighs with dumbbells. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And this is called a sumo squat position. So we did our squat when we had just the regular position. This is called a sumo squat. And the difference with this is when we squat down, when you come up, you want to squeeze your inner thighs when you come up. So when you go down, you want to put the weights in between, come up, and squeeze your inner thighs. And that's actually going to work mainly the inner thigh right in here. So that is your inner and outer thigh. Okay, this machine is for your abdominals, and you're going to see abdominal. This machine actually is really hard sometimes for people to understand how to work. So I really want to try to explain how to use this machine to make sure that you're working it properly. The first thing is here's the first adjustment down here, and that is going to be for your feet. And you want to make sure when you sit here that your feet are not, that they're too close to you or they're too far away, just to where your knees are slightly bent and it feels comfortable while you're sitting here. Then the next step is you're going to take this and just do it your arms straight. Okay, a lot of mistake people start pushing with their arms. This is not for your arms, this is for your abdominals. You want to make sure this part of the seat is actually in your lower part of your abdominals. And then when you push forward, you want to make sure when you push this machine forward that you're using your abs to push it forward. And you really kind of have to get enough weight on there to feel this. Just don't start pushing with your arms bent. Just make sure that your arms are straight. Keep your legs still. And then you're just going to push forward and come back. And really pay attention to making sure that you're using your abs when you're working this machine. Okay, this machine is your back extension. And when you get up here, you can see this is for the small muscles back here in the middle of your back that are super, super hard to get with anything else. Now this machine is just like the abdominal machine to where you want to get your legs in the right position. The way that works is you're going to need to sit down in this machine first. And I like to really be leaning forward to get the most out of this machine. So if you are kind of almost with your chest on top of your legs, then you're in the right position. Then all you're going to do with this is just take and make sure that this is in the small of your back, and then you're going to rotate back, and you really feel that squeeze back here, and then just come forward with it. And then squeeze back and come forward. And that's actually your back extension. This is one of the few pieces of equipment in the gym that can reach those small back areas. Okay, now I've moved to a different area of the gym because I wanted to show you what you could do for your chest. And unfortunately, you can do something on the floor next to the machine, but most of the time you're not going to do it there if someone's on the machine. You want to come find a flat bench, and we have several of those around the gym to be able to do your chest. I'm going to show you two ways, because if you remember on the machines, there was a couple of hand grips. The one machine where you actually pushed forward, and the other machine is actually where you're going to do what we call a fly. So all you're going to need to do is lay flat on your bench, and this is the hand position for a press. And so when you lower your arms, you're going to lower them to 90 degrees or a little less, and then just push up. And that's how you can use that with the dumbbells to mimic that machine. Now the other machine, all you're going to do is turn your hands in that hammer grip that we talked about, and you're just going to go out and kind of bend your arms just slightly, like you're hugging a tree, and then bring them back around. And that will actually mimic the fly machine using the dumbbells. So you can actually use those either way on the bench, or you can use the floor on a mat if you want to, if the benches are already used. It's just when you use a bench, you can actually bring your arms down a little bit farther back and it's a little bit better exercise. So that would be your chest press and your chest fly. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do back exercises with the dumbbells. And there's so many different ways that you can actually do this. I'm just trying to show you some basic moves to get you started in the gym. So we can use our dumbbells, and basically the first time you can lean over using the hammer grip, and you're just going to pull and come back down and just squeeze your back. So you can use both of them, or you can come over to the bench and put one leg on the bench and lean over, and then you're just going to pull and back down. And then obviously you can just switch your legs and switch your arms and pull and come back down. So that's how you can do your back with the dumbbells. Now we're in the back part of the gym here at Snap Fitness, and this is for your calves. This machine, this is the main adjustment right down here, and it's adjusting this whole piece to fit on your legs, because you're going to put your feet on top of these two little black squares, and you want to make sure that these pads fit firmly on top of your legs. So you can adjust this either way for longer legs or short legs like I have. And you always want to make sure that you hear that click, that it's in place. So then you'll put your weight on the end down here. I have a 45-pound weight, but you can slide that off and go to one of the machines in this area and make sure that you have the proper weight on there, because this does come off. So if you come over here and you see a bunch of these on here, I want to make sure that you understand that this weight does come off. So all you have to do is, here's a yellow knob, so you know that this is going to do something also. You're going to have to lift up first and take and open this up. It's just a little swing right here. So then you're going to be able to allow to go up and down with your calves. You want to go as far up on your toes and then lower as far down as you can. And then to just replace it, you'll have to pick it back up again, move this, and just set it back down. So this is a really simple machine, and the only thing it does is work your calves. Okay, we're in the back part of the gym still, and this is called your leg press. So let me show you the adjustments on this machine. The first one is the seat, and if you remember on the inner and outer thigh, this seat will also do the same thing. So you can lower it farther back, and you're going to feel a little bit of difference as to where maybe it's going to be up some. So if you want to do something a little bit different, you can come in and change the back of this. But for today, we're just going to kind of do a little bit, maybe not quite straight up and down, but just a little bit back. So when you sit down in this machine, the main thing that you want to make sure is when you put your feet up on this deck, you want to make sure that your legs are as close to you as you possibly feel comfortable with. The reason behind that is once we push our legs out, when you pull them back in, it's actually working your quadricep, your hamstrings, and your buttocks. And the closer your legs are to you, the more it's going to work this back area. So you just want to make sure when you sit down, your feet and everything is up as close as you can. Then you can hold on down here, and then you just actually push and come back up. Okay? Now, you can also do calves on this machine, so I wanted to show you that option. Basically, what you're going to do is put your feet where it's just your toes touching at the bottom. You're going to push the machine straight out, and you're going to leave your legs straight. Then all you're going to do is just lift your toes and lower them. Lift them and lower them. Now, if you want to hit your calves in some different ways, you can turn your feet and toes in and just lift and down that way. Or you can actually turn your toes out and lift and go down that way. Just some options that I can show you to be able to do calves on this particular machine. I'm going to show you also how to do calves with dumbbells. It's really, really simple. When you're standing here holding your dumbbells, all you're going to do is just lift your feet up and back down. Lift them up and back down. So you can actually mimic this machine if you want to be able to do this with dumbbells. And that would be your leg press and calf raises.